You know, I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking in my thoughts of thoughts, right? And I'm watching Ray Donovan, and in, well, season 6, episode 3, to be exact. And there's this scene in there where the guy who is supposedly acting in um he's acting in a movie, right? It's like a retro movie. And he, just because he wants to do dope, cocaine, whichever, obviously it's in the movie, probably not real life, but real life actors, they do take coke. Anyways, not to deviate. He's like sniffing on, he was arguing that the gun wasn't the proper gun, just to basically kill time. Because he was in the trailer 2 hours and they were like, they're losing money on this show. So he gone and he take his cocaine sniff because some other guy came back and acted like he was gonna give him a gun that he needed, toy gun, whatever, whatever. So the both of them went into the stroller and he brought a cup, like he had a coffee with him, whatever, whatever. Anyways, he brought him dope and he sniffed the dope, came out, and then he was telling the other guy, oh, he's okay now, he's gonna do the movie scene with the old gun, whatever. He was like, what's wrong with you? But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, from slavery, we all, like our ancestors, they came they came through all of what they came through, and they didn't have to do cocaine. There's no cocaine back then to take away no pain, and they maintain strong up to the day they die. But then I'm like, it seems like from generation to generation, instead of being stronger and further, it's like we're just being weaker and weaker and weaker. And I'm not just talking about like in health and everything else, because the other folks, them, they live older, but this generation is like, we just live young. We don't, well, if you do grow old, it's something to celebrate. Okay, and when I say old, I mean like 90 something, you know um but it just seems like if this generation and the generation after us is like, we're growing, instead of growing stronger, we're growing weaker, because we can't handle a little piece of pain or stress or like whatever it is, so much so that we got to go kill ourselves and all these kind of things. It's like everything else is just getting weaker instead of getting stronger. Because usually, especially if you look at a tree, when it's in the first stages of life, it's very weak. You can just take it and break it. But the older it grows, is the stronger that tree is. And really and truly in life, that's the same way human beings are supposed to be. We're supposed to grow older, wiser, stronger, faster. Well, I don't mean like in running, but like in the thinking and in everything else. But even so, when you're young, you can't run so fast. But when you grow up, the older you grow, you can like run. So looking at plants, looking at animals, looking at human beings, like it's obviously the same type of process. A young animal, you can easily just run it down and kill it. An older animal like a reindeer, he'll give you a run for your life or something. So in each and every one of these things, I feel terrible for us, the younger generation, from our forefathers and our parents and everything, because they were way stronger before us. The type of stress they kept up with, the type of things they kept up with, and they didn't have to go to drugs or all these kind of stuff, like to basically help them get through a day. So it's I believe it's a part of the devil's plan between you and me, to weaken us from being strong, so that at least whatever is coming, because you know what, maybe that's a part of the great deception. I wouldn't obviously, I wouldn't dare to even doubt it. because there is a great deception. Nobody really know what exactly is involved in this great deception. So I am very adamant and strongly believe that the reason behind, because the devil is a master planner, and the word of God says that we should not what is the word? I need to keep everything in my head. It's in there, but it just doesn't come up fast enough. But we should not, it's in the way to say that we shouldn't underestimate the devil. I can't say the proper scriptures right now, but it's pretty much the Bible said he's wise. So we shouldn't underestimate him, and really and truly, because this is so he's pretty wise, and obviously he is from the spiritual world. And I get mad each and every time, because in the spiritual world there is just so much thing that is going on, like there is so much stuff that we don't know, because this flesh, as I look at it, is primitive, and it will always be primitive to the spiritual world, like literally. And it hurts, because whatever the devil or the enemy, some people just don't like to hear the word devil. This is like Voldemort, so we're gonna say he who shall not be named. Whenever that happens, it's like people don't like to hear it, but you know what, it must be said, because if God himself, he ain't gonna be ducking around no corners and be like, he who shall not be named. Or like they've even breaking it down to energies now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can appear to some, that's how some people read the spiritual world, by energies and stuff, but it is what it is. Devil, spirit, demon. I ain't even respecting him right now. Just whatever form he takes, it's always the same thing. You're dealing with a spirit, a very evil spirit, but also very intelligent. Like he was before we were, you know? So he knows the whole orchestration and everything. Either way, this flesh does not know what's going on in the spiritual realm. So he's been orchestrating this big master plan from ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Why he wants to destroy the black folks, we don't know. But either way, our race is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and very not knowing how to use their head. Because some of the stuff I see some big people do, big man and woman who shouldn't be doing the stuff, I'm like, it gets me really frustrating. But at the same time, I don't know what else to say. But it's all a part of his master plan, and we as Christians, we as believers need to wake up, because there's such a deception that's happening, and we need to be vigilant, we need to be awake, and we need to be mindful. So it's I don't know, you guys should really put two and two together, because we are heading down a path that if we don't wise up, like we would not be able to, like a lot of us, we will just be left behind, and we will be left out, and we would miss the cue.